Welcome to another episode in Kied Plays Fire Emblem Hack Void's Blitzarre Adventure. Let's see here. Right. We'll be doing Chapter 15, Shark Straits. If I remember correctly, this is the Advance Wars looking map. So depending on if this plays like Advance Wars, it can get a little drawn out, so we'll have to see how long this takes me, whether or not I feel like tackling another episode or not. Or another chapter, sorry. Alright. As I saw before, as we saw before, the chapter map looks kind of interesting, but aside from terrain, I don't have any additional information because of the fog of war. There's a lot of cover, which is neat, at least in this side. A little less so on the other side of the map. Let's see. Yeah, it's got two sides. But the mountains create a very distinct, well, there's a road that kind of draws a path, but the mountains provide other options. In the Fire Emblem 4, and I'm not sure about 5, but roads actually had a bonus to your movement range, though I don't, pretty sure that doesn't apply to the GBA games. So this road path is purely visual. So there is a ton of forts in this chapter, and if this were Advanced Wars, those would be locations that you could claim and then deploy troops from. In Fire Emblem, that boon only really applies to the enemy, who can spawn reinforcements from forts. So it'll be curious. I'm almost certain that these forts, at least over here, are going to spawn reinforcements. It'd be really evil of them to spawn reinforcements back here, because with the fog of war, that would end up flanking me if that happened later in the chapter. But we'll see. I'm back down to only a handful of deployment slots. Anti-Arch is going to be good this chapter for his defense. He'll be an good option for kind of forging through the fog of war. I do want Bob for his visibility. And I am definitely regretting making Anti-Arch a Mage Knight here, because I've got Cilicia, Prin, and Easter as mounted magic users whenever the latter two actually promote. Let's see. So Kirsten could be really useful in this chapter, but she could also be a double-edged sword in that it's depending on what's actually out in the fog. She could also be sniped off really easily. I guess I can kind of reposition around my thief and sample some of the areas. So all around solid stats on the enemies. Sword Slayer is kind of nasty. At least there are enemies there. I was a little worried that this was going to be as Advanced Warsy as the map designer could get, and have there are no pre-deployed enemies, and all the enemies are just reinforcements. That appears to be the extent of what I can see from my starting position. Let me see. Nothing out in the waters here, at least. Because I could also have foreseen hiding like flying units right around the outside of your visibility that come sweep in, or like pirates that'll come in, and after a certain amount of turns they finally hit landfall, and then they can come in flank. There's an arena which I don't plan on abusing, mostly because it's not particularly interesting to watch, and I don't really feel like I have anyone who needs it. I'm doing fairly well experience-wise. Void's close to promoting. Print is as well. And most of my other units are already promoted. So I didn't get a lot of information from my thief peeking. But it's something at least. So Kirsten could kind of fly over here, snipe off this Sword Slayer before he can get to Anna or any of my other sword users. Sword Slayers are interesting. They're kind of one-of-a-kind weapons in that they're a Reaver weapon that is also an effective weapon at the same time. They reverse weapon triangle, so they are strong against swords, but they also deal effective damage, so it's 3 times their might, which is already 11. So this guy is going to be swinging this weapon at Anna and I think Tim with 33 might plus 14. So 47 attack, which is almost a one-hit kill, even on the sturdier of the two. And since it's a Reaver weapon, that's double the weapon triangle effects as well. So it'd actually be closer to 49 attack. And then the effectiveness is against Myrmidons and Mercenaries. And I believe any of their promoted forms, so Swordmaster, Assassin, Hero. I'm not sure about Bow Knight. It might not actually apply to Bow Knight, but I think Hero, and I'm pretty definitely Swordmaster, definitely Myrmidon, definitely Mercenary. And even without the effectiveness, it's a pretty formidable weapon to any sword users, just for its raw might, and it's actually got pretty good hit for an axe as well. Let's see. Arv's going to be really useful because her phantoms can kind of scout out into the fog of war safely, because it doesn't really matter if they die. They're expendable. I wonder if we'll actually run into enemy summoners and they use phantoms against me, like Advanced Wars stuff. Maybe I'm just making that all up too. I keep making comparisons to Advanced Wars because the map design really looks like that to me, but I don't actually have enough familiarity with it in the one game that I've played to definitively say that this is an Advanced Wars reference. Maybe the chapter title is, and I just don't get it because it's been a while, or it was from a game that I didn't play. You can actually use staves, so I should give you one. Do I have I may have to buy one. Yeah, I fortunately have plenty of funds here. Do I have something with a little more? I'll give you this iron bow. Samson hasn't really seen a whole lot of combats, so he's probably okay with this. Do I have any other? Yeah, I got javelins. I want to give him at least a ranged weapon. I may not need the Horse Slayer on him, so that I can actually give him a sword so he has full weapon triangle control. Alright, you need a weapon. Alright, I was thinking about promoting him as well. That might... Yeah, I think I will. It'll help his survivability. If I had planned on using him as a offensive character, I'd make him an assassin, but I already have Anna for my sword needs, so Bob is purely utility, so rogue is the better choice here. Assuming it still works this way it did in Sacred Stones. This now means that lockpicks are unnecessary. I can sell them if I need extra gold. Let's see. I believe that changed. Yeah, lock touch can open locks and without keys or picks. Yeah. They just kind of, I think they gave it Awakening's name, skill name. Everything else is the same. So he got 2 points of defense, a little bit of HP, 1 point in skill, 1 point in strength. Every little bit helps. Alright, and I want the torch. I can sell this. Basically, get back what I spent on that heal staff. Okay. I'll dump all this into inventory. Do I... Trying to decide what to do with Kirsten here. As I mentioned before, she could be useful in this chapter. I'm not entirely sure who to bench for her. Tim takes care of my axe needs. Ties lance with off other weapons and as my primary sword. I don't really have a lot of space to play with, so I think I may leave Kirsten behind. Largely because of that added vulnerability. She's not really sturdy enough, and doesn't have the growth or quite enough of a basis to be a dodge tank. So I think I am good to roll with this. Did I get a torch staff at all? I do have a torch staff. Berserk probably isn't going to be all that useful. Mostly because I don't really have the visibility to be able to pick and choose my targets. So I might be tempted to choose someone, Berserk some enemy, and then there's like a better option right nearby, and just no real need to take advantage of that unless I see from the start a clear-cut target for it. So Bob doesn't have to stay there. On the first turn, I'm basically going to just put him somewhere, probably like around here, and then fire off that torch. So that'll pretty much open up visibility all the way through. Good port, most of this entire island, maybe not the far bottom reaches. Well, I also kind of want, I'll see what Bob's visibility is after the first turn, and then if I still want Prin to torch staff something, I can decide on that then and visit the village with Anti-Arch. And if not, Prin can visit, because they're both mounted units, they've got Kanto, and they can move again, so I don't have to sit a unit here for one turn. Bring my melee attackers a little closer to the front line. And I think we're good. Let me just check my animations. Good. It's chapter 15 and I haven't gotten a dancer yet. I want to say in Sacred Stones at least you got a dancer by now. Blazing Sword's a little weird because it's split up between Lynn's story and the Hector or Ellawood story, but Lynn's story you get a dancer by chapter 7, and Hector's Ellawood story it's by 21, I want to say. 21 after Lynn's story, so that's about chapter 11. It's 13, I think, for Hector because of the extra chapters. Oh boy. Well, I called the Advance Wars, right? Because that's definitely an Advance Wars mug. Possum Spit. This area wasn't Blue Moon's to begin with. Blue Moon is just plain greedy. That's what it is. Fighting for these folks just don't sit well with me. Well, I guess I'll just mosey on out and see what happens. Who left these lying around? Oh, okay. That's the torch. In case you didn't get any. 2 of them? Okay. Oh boy. Green units are pretty interesting though. They usually change up the pace of any chapter that they're involved with. This Anna talk with Void. This will be interesting. Despoil, Canto, Relief, and Tantivity. Tantivy. This is the first time I've had to pronounce that skill out loud, at least. The last 2 are just native Wyvern Rider skills. So I guess let's see what you have to say. You're the commander of that other army out there, huh? You're saying you want to kill the Demon King or something? Well, if you'll help my army get to the enemy HQ, I'll join your quests. Oh, and be sure to check out the island south of our position. Let's say I've got a friend there. Okay. So that sounds like a good torch target. I forgot how Acrobat works until I just saw that. So Rogue can walk on water. Usually they have only like 1 movement on there, but since Acrobat applies, since they can walk on it, Bob can just kind of walk all over this pond. Since I don't think anyone but flyers can traverse cliffs specifically. He can't go right over here and act like a flying unit, but if I brought him out here, I think he might be able to just kind of walk around out in the ocean, and that would be entertaining. I might be able to find out over here, because I know you can get to the sea from the bridge. It's not really anything practical at the moment, but might be kind of fun to toy with later. So let us see what the torch has to tell. Alright. Enemy Ballista. This is why I didn't bring Kirsten. This is probably the worst case scenario for deploying Kirsten. Unlike in Fates, and I don't remember if there were Ballista in Awakening. I don't remember if there were Ballista in Awakening. In Fates, though, they couldn't kill, but in every game prior to that, they can. So, including this, Ballista are entirely capable of killing, and will do so with no remorse. So let us check out this island to the south. Now I'm wondering if that means this or if that's down here. But this torch staff should at least eliminate one of those. Well, it'll eliminate the small island if it's going to eliminate anything. Well, I did call a flyer out there, but it doesn't look like it's doesn't look like she's recruitable. Maybe I can get a name. No. Talk. Grotto, nothing. So I don't think it's this girl. Who's probably going to get picked off by that ballista next turn anyway. Let's see what the village has. Wars World Place. Okay. Random, but sure. Tim can use it. Yeah, he doesn't need it, but he can use it. I suppose oh, she's got the members card. So let me be trying to be aware here of ballista's range. Okay, so I'm going to re-equip Anna a bit here. I may leave that on her. She's most likely to be able to get to a secret shop if there is one, and I'm almost certain that there should be one here somewhere. Guess take. Wait, I can still supply. At the same time, there are other more useful things I could give her, like torch, because I'm gonna have her flying around on her own, and I guess elixir, because her relief skill should cover her healing when she's out on her own. And I want to go right here, but in the event that there is a ballista around here, based on this one's range, I should go here instead. Because if this one can only hit this far, one down here would only be able to hit this far. And I want to chase this thief. Do I want to chase that thief? I don't really have any need to chase that thief. That is a hero. As tempting as the hand axe is, the silver sword is more valuable. I think Anna can handle hit from one or both of those. As much as I also want to give her the fort and make her untouchable, it'll make my job easier next turn if I force the hero onto the plains tile there instead of... So if I put Anna here with a one range weapon, even though I could give her light brands and let her retaliate, if I leave her with the iron sword, the hero will attack from here, because that is the only space that he can reach an enemy. And because he has a ranged weapon, he will attack with the hand axe so that I cannot counterattack. Even though, objectively in this case, going in with the silver sword gives him the fort tile and would make him more likely to deal damage, he probably would still have a hard time. Maybe. Because of her... Oh yeah, he would still have a kind of a rough time because she's sitting at ridiculous 83 avoid. So we have no anti-armor infantry or weaponry here, so this is also an easy choice. So I could get if I equip a lance, I'll be advantage against the sword slayer, but that might be overkill. Then again, he's really slow, so he'll be more effective on the enemy phase with that. So you don't move, but you do. Oh, with a longbow. See, this is interesting map design. Whoever made this definitely had a lot more of a sense or an idea behind what they wanted to do. So this was very clearly a choke point that I'm supposed to challenge, and they're not making it easy. We'll see what the green units do next turn. I am curious if they move on their own, if they're going to advance. What is the defeat all enemies? A route, huh? We'll keep Samson close here. And let's explore up north a little bit with a Phantom. Phantoms are considered flying units, so as you see, they can go right over the cliff tile. I want to make sure I don't get into the hero's range, but I could actually lure the Pegasus Knight instead, and that wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, nothing else, no other surprises here unless they were really tricky and hit them right in the corner. Guess I will kind of back up this general here and let's see what happens. Cavaliers are charging across, okay. No crits, darn. Okay, so that Peg Knight's coming right at me. Alright, there's another Peg Knight over there. That's a Falcon Knight. Both of those are Falcon Knight. That's a Wyvern Lord. They're throwing heavy promoted classes at me now, huh? Even just as regular enemies. Well, I mean, yeah, the heroes there. Moved exactly as I predicted. Good. Alright, Green, what do you do? Ah. Alright, well, they're attacking so they do appear to be... What was that flash? What are your actual stats now that you're a playable character? A little low for level 15, but definitely usable. Seeking growths. Aside from luck, they're actually well balanced. She's likely going to suffer from Elwood syndrome. syndrome, where it's extremely RNG dependent on uh, how she actually develops because her growths are so even. You can't really predict which ones are going to excel, at least aside from where her bases are naturally higher. So her skill is going to be on the lower side, but she's going to have her speed and defense should be right around even. She's got surprisingly high resistance. Hits my shift button a few too many times. Surprisingly high resistance growth for a Wyvern rider, 45. And that might be the highest resistance growth of anyone in my party, maybe. It was 45 in defense. Your defense growth is actually great. 45 is high for defense. 40 is usually fairly high for defense. In Binding Blade, 40 was the highest defense growth of any character. So that kind of scales on a slightly different scale than the other stats, because like 60 skill, 60 speed is good. But sword masters, and not in this case, but other sword masters I've seen up to 70. Actually 60 is really good for anything, but like 40% growth, 40% growth in defense is considered great, but 40% growth in strength is considered okay at best. It is about average. And 30% growth in defense is still decently good, but 30% growth in strength is low. So what are these guys' stats? These guys are pretty solid. They are definitely a threat. You Falcon Knight less so. That's interesting. I think this is because of the programming with the bases. So the way enemies get their stats is generally, this case might be a little more variable, but since they're level 1 promoted, but each class has a set of base stats that enemies are then auto-leveled by the RNG up to a certain level, and they go by class growths, usually. So at least in the case where stats aren't specifically set by the programmer. Love to let this ballista just take care of the peg knight for me, but I suppose I might as well have Anna do some work here. Oh, I need to turn on her animation too. See what she actually looks like. Need to see an additional Anna, since they are canonically a band of, almost innumerable band of sisters that all look identical and all have the same name. So it's not unreasonable to see more than one. Awakening had several, though only one was actually playable. So this, I need a crit to kill here. 15 uses on the light brand still. Alright. Still have Samson, but let's see, I guess here should be safe. I had my music down a little low, so I wasn't really paying attention to music. I have a bad habit of kind of tuning it out even when it's good. This is a neat tune though. So I can protect this troubadour to a certain degree with a phantom here. Though if I move Samson, as I'm planning on doing, I almost can't because then Arv is in danger. Though I keep forgetting she has Lance Breaker, so she's actually got pretty decent avoid. She should have pretty good avoid against lances. But one of those two promoted units will definitely go for the Phantom first. The second one will likely go for the Troubadour. Can I? Oh, I don't have a hand axe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because this is a forest tile, it takes up extra movement. So even if I shoved Anti-Arch a space closer using Void, he still would not be able to reach the Sword Slayer. And I want that Sword Slayer dead because he messes up my sword users in a bad way. Tim's kind of a juggernaut here, so this should be fairly safe. He's pretty much only in danger of wayward RNG. So I unfortunately have to pull Bob back a bit, which is going to limit my visibility on the front. And though Hoplon Guard does protect Void against wayward criticals, she does still have low defense. And her luck is not helping her avoid. So I kind of have to keep her babied a bit still too. I guess if I harass the Wyvern Rider, or maybe can kill one of you. Yeah, crit would kill. Of course I didn't get one. But just that fighter isn't in range of anyone other than this general and my general, and he's not going to be particularly threatening to either one. This general is very generally. My general's better. I can throw Arch into the mix. Anti-Arch, I should say. Prin's got decent defense, so she can kind of stick it out. I do want to continue probing. With the torch staff. I guess I'll just go straight out over here. See if there's another ballista, because I can't quite check the bottom yet. And there is. Alright. That was an interesting move. For the fighter, at least. Might have been Might have been trying to go for the fort and just couldn't reach it, but I thought he should have been able to reach it from there. So yeah, otherwise hoping for the green units to help take the heat off of my units because I'm pretty badly outgunned, outnumbered. That was unfortunate. That ballista could have been a big boon to me. Do the ballistas have 10 shots or 5? They might actually be up to 10. They normally have 5, but given how central they are, they might have upped it to 10 in order to make them not irrelevant after 5 turns. That's good. Needed to, in these kinds of situations, reducing enemy numbers is the biggest priority. It's the fewer attacks you have to sustain, the better your chances of survival. Provoke, right? I was like, they really like attacking that general, and then I remember that he has a provoke skill. Tank, actually tanking. It's a beautiful thing. It's another ballista. Kind of wish I did have a hand axe to give to Tim, because he could have taken out that ballista this coming turn. Okay. I wonder if that was right on the edge of that Troubadour's range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it was. So that's why that fighter moved just that far. Okay, the thief hasn't moved. Sure. Experience for Void. Yeah, you can see from the Wyvern Lord's damage there that she was real squishy still. It's a good level up. All stuff she needs more of. Provoke was actually overpowering the Phantom's draw there too, which is interesting. So I probably don't need to put the Phantom near Ty, because he's just going to draw aggro from it anyway. I guess I will use this Phantom to kind of explore up here until he gets killed. You do have physique. So do you. Be nice if they're programmed to heal me as well. They might not be. Why can I double you now? Oh, he equipped this steel lance. That's why. Do I want to spend time on him though? I actually didn't realize there was an armory here. It doesn't really have anything useful to me though. I mean, I guess the killer lances are good. Pick up a few of those. Especially since I'm getting good use out of one right now and it's wearing down. Grab a steel bow. I think Samson's low on his. Okay, I did notice that there was a shop over here. vendor. But alright, making sure I'm not gonna wander into the Sword Slayer's range. Can actually. What do you have? You do have a javelin, but it's a javelin. I'm gonna start carving my way through that fortified position. Not particularly hopeful that that ballista will still be there in 3 turns. So I need 2 turns. The next turn and then the turn after, I would technically be able to get to it, but anyway, that's why I'm bringing anti-arch around anyway. See, I don't have visibility on the ballista up top yet. Okay. They don't really give up much experience anyway. So I can use Anna here, Duelist Blow and Lucky Sevens, giving me all the avoid and hit that I need. And I will finish off this Wyvern Lord. I don't want him flying around because I can't control his movement. Meanwhile, I can play around the terrain with the ground units. See, if that ballista shoots at void and then this soldier attacks void, she might be squishy enough to die. I'd like to give her more experience, but not at that kind of risk. Though the other cavalier might be able to sneak around the general anyway, assuming both of them aren't drawn by that general's provoke skill to begin with. And then just kind of have to figure out what to do with... Oh. So what is this thief here for? 15 speed, 11 speed. Speed. So this thief, to be honest, looks like he's just here to steal my stuff. There's no village. Well, there's the one village, but it's right in my starting position. So I have to have been super negligent to have not visited it by the time the thief got up to it. So with that being the case, the thief is probably not here to threaten the village. Kind of want to just leave that Peg Knight to his own devices. Anna said she had a friend down here, so we'll go and see. Actually, the torch staff can be used for enemy control glitch, can't it? Which game did that feature in? I don't remember. It's like you use the mines in 7 and you use the magma tiles in 8. I think it was 8 that you could also use the torch staff. But I don't plan on doing that. And I've been through tougher situations in this hack already and haven't resorted to mine glitch even then. So, but I can still improve my visibility by doing this. Be neat if they could use that as an attack though. And that's my last character for the turn, so I don't get to see what I revealed until next time. I hope I didn't have to keep all of the green units alive, because that would have been a chore. Ooh, bolting, huh? Yeah, I was kind of expected that. Oh, they can cross the bridge. That's interesting. This is just a Wyvern Rider. As promised, I'm not going to ever pronounce those two that consistently. An entire squad of them. All with javelins, just to be annoying. Those flashes at the end of the enemy turn, and end of the, oh, okay. The end of the green neutral phase keep invoking to me that there should be reinforcements showing up from somewhere, but no, I guess they might be out in the fog and they're all enemy stuff. That'd be lovely. Good, I can reach down here. Yeah, didn't think I could kill without Elfire here. Which is okay. I like using Elfire, so any opportunity to use it more. So I should actually be able to kill that ballista. If I hit it. Yeah, my hit rates are a little dicey, but okay, good. There are still 2 of them floating around out here, but 1 fewer than I need. That's 1 fewer to deal with. I keep thinking this guy is one of mine. Oof. So the only way Anna's going to be able to kill these guys consistently is if I break out a heavier weapon. The light brand or the Lance Reaver, and I think I'm going to have to stick with the light brand. That's the only one that actually does enough damage because it targets res instead of defense. The Lance Reaver is probably best left for defense anyway, if I need to bait out a spear or something. Killer Lance gonna continue putting in work, maybe. Actually, I should kill the... Assuming she doesn't have anything... She does have... she's got a red gem. Not worth trying to steal. I have no way of protecting him if I went in for it. I kind of want to get rid of you because you're harassing the back line more than I want you to. Oh, now you crit. Alright. I guess I just kind of have to skirt around here until I can get someone over here to take care of this ballista, which if I stay put, he should also stay put. So then Anti-Arch can come in and kill him next turn. Thief didn't move, which surprises me a little bit. I was convinced he was going to come over and steal my vulnerary. 52 avoid, 10 defense, and decent HP. Should be able to survive 2 Wyvern Riders if they aren't drawn by Provoke for whatever reason. Who can reach? Oh, the hero. Again, Provoke probably will draw him to tie, but in case it doesn't, can get him. Oh, I can swap them off the fort if I really want to. I'll let him keep it. Again, stay put and see. Hope. Where is that fighter going? Fighter is convinced he's still hurt, even though he's at like 90% of his health already. So he is still in runaway mode. Okay, that works too, as long as he stays put. Yeah, he's gonna be. That soldier is gonna be a bit, or soldier. The hero is gonna be a little bit of a pain to deal with. I don't think there's anywhere I can position Ty right now that'll force the hero off of a defensive tile. Yeah, wary fighter. Cool. Nice. Yep, so that low speed is now irrelevant completely. So yeah, anywhere I put, well, I guess all the way over here, but I don't really want to retreat that far. I can actually, it's going to take a while, but I can at least start dealing damage here. That is interesting. This soldier can't get over here. I'm not sure what it's going to do. I wish I could do this. I'm pretty sure I can't do that safely, though. Yeah, this hero messes up Samson pretty bad. Which means I want to block him off. So here's the decision. Do I go for a sword? Kind of chip him down slowly. It'll take 4 hits. Since he's got a ranged weapon and I don't have one that's a good match against him, it'll take 4 turns for him. Or, well, actually, wait, I do have her here. They can double team this hero. There we go. The hero's gone. Even by giving the Wyvern Riders weapon triangle advantage, they still can't do any damage to Ty. So I made sure to check that. Samson's not fast enough to double them and not strong enough to one-shot them. With a longbow at least. Gotta make sure he doesn't keep that equipped. Steel bow's fine. Arv's got Lancebreaker, so she should still be okay. She's not completely made of paper anyway. She's not the sturdiest, but she's not Ellen levels of made of paper from Fire Emblem 6. I think she could even take this longbowman. Alright. So you need to die in a fire. Good. I gave Anna a torch, but I apparently didn't really need to, since Prin's taking care of all of her torching duties. Well, there's a house. There's a house up here, too. Guess I can harass this. Alright, she looks like a pale Wyvern Rider. Nothing too exciting. There's my bolting user. Yeah. Tim's attack his strength is kind of low. I do believe I got an energy ring recently, so I may want to actually consider giving it to him. As good as his growth is, he just has not been getting very lucky with it. I'm gonna end up praying for a critical here. Nope. Oh, hi. Tim was a hero several chapters ago. He was actually my first character that I promoted because I actually needed him to get stat boosts in order to kill one of these bosses earlier in the game. But Arv has Lancebreaker, so the Wyverns are not really that big of a threat to her. She's not super, as I was saying, she's not super flimsy actually. She's got 8 defense and 36 HP. And she's got a forest tile, so the longbowman here and the ballista might go after her, assuming Ty's provoke doesn't take precedence, which it has been putting in serious work so far. Doesn't necessarily mean I don't have to be careful, though. Void's got slightly less defense, significantly less luck, and lower HP. And it's game over if I lose her. Let's see what they do. No, the only green that had a face was Anna, Wyvern Rider. All the rest are generics, because this is the Advance Wars map. There was an Advance Wars general who showed up earlier on. Doesn't apparently doesn't have a actual character on the map, as they didn't in the original games, as far as I know. But he's apparently in command of the other ones. It would have been nice if they had spawned more green reinforcements for me. But yeah, Anna's the character I got from the green units this chapter. That's my second Anna of this bunch. Just looking at their mugs side by side, and they are actually different. Trying to place them. I want to say this one kind of resembles the newer Annas a little bit more, and the other one looks more like the older Anna. And now Samson can't reach anyone. Meanwhile, keep plugging away here. Not in range of the light brand. So Wary Fighter makes Ty a fantastic tank, but unfortunately it also neuters any limited offensive potential he might have had. Depending on how enemy scaling and weapons go, they might have actually, their attack speed might have actually dropped low enough, and his speed grown. Oh, never mind. His speed's not going to grow. Just kidding. This works. This kills. It would have killed anyway. Okay. That's I'd say that's a kill next turn, but he's this. Well, I don't know. Provoke might actually draw him to Ty again on the enemy phase instead of throwing his javelin at Anna. In the meantime, I'm going to you. Actually, I should have stuck with Flux. I'm trying to get her dark weapon rank up to S before I go back to trying to mess with light magic. I'd say that was an unfortunate level up, but she did get luck. This might put her into bolting range, unfortunately, yeah. Meanwhile, continue to carve through this choke point. That's all the defenders down. Same thing with Tim. Keep working on his axe rank so he gets up to an S. And until I can kill that bolting, I guess I can lure this soldier. He'll come to me. Thief still is not doing anything, so I'm just going to leave him be. Unlike before, I think she can handle one Wyvern Rider. Nice to have another flyer that's not Kirsten, though. Not that she was bad, it's just more options is better. Well, they are piling up over there. Good. Saves me a turn. Crap. I'm gonna have to heal him. Oh, gross. That was another. That sounded like another ballista. Which is bad news. Ow. Well, fog of war. Crud. Well, I still have Tam, so that's unfortunately not a resetting loss at the moment. And this is why Fog of War sucks. Two green troubadours sitting back, not doing anything. I was hoping to kill that bolting user next turn. That's not this turn, and that's not going to happen. I want to, but probably shouldn't do that either. Because it's just one steel lance and a bolting away from killing Bob, too. Meanwhile, our anti-arch is an actual tank. We've got torches. I mean, I guess this one's worn down enough that I should use it again. Yeah. Oh, crits. Yes. Redemption. Revenge for Tim. Don't want to continue pushing with Anna if there's a ballista down there, because that's just asking her to get sniped. I guess I can bring up the longbow and try to hit the ballista. Okay, so what's the best way to fight my way through this point? Guess I can do this. Arv, then Anna, then Ty. Unlike in Tim's case, all of them are at full health. Ty should continue brushing off that Wyvern Rider's javelins like kind of like a fly just kind of buzzing around him. Unless I can at least check, I suppose. I'd have to store something and then I just have a short spear. Oh. Don't think it's... Alright, if I have to think that much about it, I probably shouldn't risk it. So, I can't check right now, but I was a little concerned if equipping the really heavy short spear would put Void in double range for this guy. But he's got a steel lance instead, so that would have been fairly safe. If he had had like an iron lance, let's see, 7, 4, 13, 13 attack speed. Okay, so even with an iron lance, he wouldn't have been able to double. But, oh, okay, you're out of ammunition. So I mentioned earlier that I thought they might have had 10 shots, and apparently they didn't. So that's good. Good for me. Hey. We're playing Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem. Also, Tim died because of Fog of War. Sniper with a silver bow came out of nowhere and sniped him. Anti-Arch swore revenge, though, and made good on his promise. Also, I got my second Anna. And unfortunately, green units are now ineffectual. So, I was trying to kill this ballista with the Phantom. Realizing that he's now out of ammunition, there's really no point to that either. I guess I'm just going to continue exploring with him. As for Tam, well, Tam gets to pick up his brother's axe. Gonna be my new axe user. So yeah, this is my second Anna. She's a Wyvern Rider now, or this time. Yeah, I still have the old one, but you know how that family is. I still can't kill this bolting. Oh, he's out of his ammo as well. All right. What is? Oh, no. Oh, it's just the. Okay. I'm seeing this huge area coverage of attack range by an enemy, and I'm thinking there's another siege weapon out here, and it's just the Wyvern Rider with the javelin, which I should probably do something about eventually, sooner rather than later. There's a lot of armors. I do have an armor slayer. I'd like to keep Ty up front, but memorable character deaths in a past FE. Not particularly. Nothing that really stands out. For a long time, I was playing just resets when someone dies, so anyone who died didn't usually stay dead. Let's see. I only more recently started playing a bit more Iron Man-like. Especially at this point in the game where I've got pretty developed teams and I don't really have to worry about situations that become unbeatable should too many people die. So I've got three characters to work with and 4 enemies to kill. I have to dig out the Blitz Spear again. Blitz Lance. Get that effective damage here. Ow. Alright, I might be down to... there's another mage behind it. I just used... Oh, there's another mage. And okay, that's not good. Oh, that's the sword slayer ran over here. Well, the good news is the sword slayer is actually not threatening to void. Bad news is it means I can't deploy Anna here. Because this soldier is gonna mess her up. This is suddenly rather bad. Tim might make a resurrection at this rate. A lot of how bad this is depends on the move order of the AI. So can all of these mages kill Void? 15, 13, 15. 6. So that's 9, 7, and then 9. Yes, they can. And unfortunately, if this knight decides to walk around and then attack and hit Void again, even if I heal her, she might be right back in the same position. Though, if I leave that space open, one of the mages might attack Ty instead, which I honestly think might be my only hope here. Again, depends fairly heavily on the move order of the enemies. I can at least bring Anna across the bridge. Let's see, we are out of lucky 7s. So yeah, this will hurt. 9 res. So I think that should be fine. Can even give her. So the Lance Reaver can kind of combat the Sword Slayer. The Lance Reaver will take the Reaver weapon's ability to flip the weapon triangle and flip it again. It's like playing another reverse order in Uno and someone just played a reverse order. So the Lance Reaver would have weapon triangle advantage against the Sword Slayer. It would still be just double weapon triangle effects. But the Sword Slayer is still going to be deal effective damage against Anna. And that's also assuming that the armor doesn't break the Lance Reaver, which it shouldn't, because it still have 3 hits. But I'll just keep her out of its range anyway. Let's see how bad this turn goes. Yeah, that's about the worst case scenario. Though we didn't do as much damage as the other one. It still, I think, puts Void in kill range for them. Okay. Ow. I don't have a Nosferatu still. Okay, I was hoping that would happen. I might... I'm not going to jinx myself. Of course, that hit. Okay. Yes, it looks like I survived that turn. I wasn't confident that I would. And I can now... just kind of mop these guys up. This will help give me visibility up north and make sure there aren't any other nasty surprises. There's always nasty surprises. Okay, these guys don't move at least. You do. You're gonna just come over here and kill the Phantom next turn. Continue moseying Samson back to the fray so he can actually do something. Let's see. Mage doesn't have any more ammo. Can probably, well, if there's a Blist out here, I want to kill it, or at least start draining its uses. There's another silver bow. I don't recall bad-mouthing RNGesus recently. I think this map is one of the most evil ones that they've actually thrown at me so far. Just because stuff like this hiding in the fog. Alright. I can probably continue to ignore this Wyvern Rider for the time being. He's gonna probably just continue buzzing around Ty. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to put Ty here. Maybe. You've got an Armor Slayer, so maybe not. Maybe I want to put Ty here. Which basically forces me to, well, he can, yeah. Fortunately, I gave him boots, which means he can run real far. And yes, kill this mage. I'd like to save Arv because I want to use her to heal Void this turn. So I'm actually going to use Void here and put Anna in front of her. Duelist Blow, putting in work as usual. Duelist Blow basically negates Weapon Triangle advantage on activation. And I can heal you. And we should be good for this turn. I can actually bring Print up and heal Arv now. She is level 18. I probably might as well promote her so that she can keep working on her staff rank as well. I forgot to check. And new Annas. How many Annas are there anyway? Good question. I need to think of, I guess this is Wyvern Anna and this is Sword Anna. Just think of a way to differentiate them when I talk. She's the only one left to move. see. Maybe bait that soldier. Good. Just hope I haven't flown into ballista range. Because that is the entire reason I didn't bring Curse into this map. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning of this map, when I recruited Anna, she actually, in her dialogue, stated that she had a friend on the southern island. Edgelord Anna, EA, and Pretty Fly Anna, PFA. There we go, there's the ballista. Good, he needs more magic. Speed? No, that was luck. Speed would be nice too, but not quite as important because he has seal speed, so on retaliation he gets, not retaliation, but on the following player phase he gets the reap the benefits of seal speed. This is really becoming gross up here. Hang on. This goal, I just noticed that the goal here on the map says Seize Gate, but this objective says defeat all enemies. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay, so Armor Slayer needs to go. Do all of these, you all have lances, every single one of you. That's good news for Arv, not so great news for Anna. I did get another rescue staff from last chapter from Evester, so I think I can. I'm gonna attack with. I'm gonna need to get rid of this Armor Slayer so that I can continue using Ty in this space. But I'm probably going to rescue Anna out of danger using a rescue staff. Let's see. How effective is... She might be able to dodge tank all of these guys, actually. Those look like pretty good odds to me. I just gotta make sure I can open up a position for them to actually do so. I think I have to finally kill that Wyvern Rider, just because he's contributing to the bulk here. Leaving Arv and Ty to position themselves as tanks. I have Void and Bob here too, and I guess Samson as well, to actually attack with. Well, Steel Lance actually weighs him down enough for Samson to double. That's good. I don't think Bob has the firepower to get through another unit by himself, since none of the rest of these guys are squishy. Yeah. But Arv could. So even better case scenario is if I can get tied to this tile, he can bottleneck this entirely by himself. And then I don't have to even use the rescue staff on Anna. I think Wyvern Friend gets to live another day, another turn. Maybe not. It depends on how 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, either way, I do want to put Ty here. And then... No, he still can't kill. Never mind then. I mean, this Cav attacking Anna isn't a terrible thing, since this armor is not going to make it through Ty, and Ty is not going to make it through that armor. That's probably going to happen. Just going to give her a lighter weapon. And since I got a bunch of these at the beginning of the chapter, I might as well use them to keep my visibility open. Yeah, more mages. Mages that continue to not threaten Ty. Silverbow needs to go. I do want to keep my fort tile though, so I'm gonna have to... Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna have to take a counterattack from the soldier, but I have Prin ready to heal with physique afterwards. But that seems that Anti-Arch deems that unnecessary. He is doing good work to make sure he continues to prove his relevance in the current Horse Mage meta. Just kidding, this isn't Fire Emblem Heroes. Neither of these guys really need it. Oh, you know what? I could use this opportunity to promote her. Going Valkyrie here because I've got 2 Mage Knights already. Yeah, Ty would be a fearsome opponent. His defense and his resistance are both excellent. They've been serving me wonderfully so far, and they would have been a real handful to try to fight against. Demoiselle. Gotta remember she has that. And Voice of Peace, too. Not that Ty needs it, but the other people could benefit from it, potentially. Arch is not particularly fast, but his seal speed kind of helps him double everyone. Oh, that's lovely. More flyers. Good. This is as predicted. I want to say that was the fourth or fifth ballista shot. So at least in one more turn that it should be spent, and I can safely send Anna back south. Because as I mentioned in Anna's Wyvern Anna's recruitment dialogue, she said she had a friend down here, and there didn't appear to immediately be anyone down here. There was a soldier that was an enemy, and then there's this house. So I'm thinking I might want to have to visit that house. Oh, her intimidate or frenzy. Oh wait, no, that was not anathema. Not quite the same thing. But okay. Pegasus Knights. Wielding lances far too heavy for them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I need to kill 1, 2. I suppose I could just force tie in here and then ignore most of these guys, so then just these ones. Only have to worry about killing them. No one can reach the soldier. I'm not gonna worry about him. However, I can give, assuming I have any more light magic, D. I think Prin started at a D weapon rank, because Sacred Stones is a lot more generous with their weapon rank on promotions. Yes. So, continuing with the janky long range weapon throw thing. So Prin is armed and dangerous. I can actually turn her animation on now. Basically, any given enemy, any given of one of my units now only has to worry about tanking a hit from one Pegasus Knight. And then that one extra soldier. That shouldn't really be a threat to Prin either, especially not when she has a fort tile. Anna maybe a little bit more so, but I can fix that too. Bam. Now safe from lances. Get Wyvern Rider some more, Wyvern Anna some more experience, though she is already level 15. Oh, great. So I talked about her growths a little bit at the beginning, and I'll go over them again. She's like Ellawood, kind of. slightly more focused on speed and defense and a little less focused on strength, but otherwise very even growth spread that tends to make her kind of RNG reliant on good level ups more so than just having good growths. So they could really swing in a lot of different ways. Her luck should always be pretty good at least. And you know what's I've just kind of noticed? I don't think so. Bob has average luck growth, and Prin kind of has average luck growth, and not Arch has average luck growth, but everyone else in the army has like extreme high growth in luck or extremely low growth in luck. It was a bit less of a spread. Than I was thinking in my head. Shouldn't luck affect level up growth? Yes and no. Like, luck as in actual chances, the RNG roll luck does. That's basically the driving force, but the stat luck itself has no effect on other growths. It's what luck does in this game is it affects your hit, it affects your avoid, and it affects your critical avoid, which is not shown here. Contrary to popular belief, luck does not affect your critical. Your luck doesn't affect your crit rate, and it doesn't affect your growths. But getting lucky, it definitely is affects your growth rates. At least I can one-hit smack these mages with tie. Guess I'll wander down here and see if I can put eyes on the ballista. I've got 2 shots left. Sure. Huh. Yeah, she kind of looks like Natasha. Maybe a little less blue. Oh yeah, Provoke still doing work. Ha, your adept means nothing. The green units were kind of neat at first, but I'm a little disappointed now that they've stopped being a factor entirely. Alright, what do you have? Not ranged weapons? Though I suppose it's a little more important to kind of burn down the ones that do move. Steelax. So, all right. Aether. That's still you. I don't remember. 15. Yeah, I don't remember what the usage counter was at before this. And it's curious in seeing if Aether consumed 1 or 2 weapon uses. Because that kind of things like Aether and Astra, it varies a bit from game to game how much weapon durability that consumes. You can actually start working on this guy. Nice. Means I should kill him next turn. Instead of like in 3 turns from now. 4-1. No one's hurt. He did move away from the shore. If he had just moved here instead of here, I could have actually hit him, but I have to put up with a ballista bolt for 1 more turn. I can feed Anna some more experience here at least. Or try to at least. Got pure water. Suppose I could steal that next turn. No real reason not to. Oh. Okay, so this is the guy that appeared at the beginning of the chapter, and I didn't realize he was the boss. I thought he was like the commander of the green units that I was facing, or that I was allied with. But yeah, if you've ever seen any of the Advance Wars art, this is kind of what it looks like. Visitor from beyond the Outrealms. Yep. Outrealms can explain any crossovers you want. I'm almost a little disappointed they didn't try to do more with them, but we still have heroes for that. Do you have point blank? No? You do not have point blank. Both. So that means you can't retaliate from melee range. So basically, I attack this. I guess I can start on that now. No real reason not to. You don't move, right? Just making sure. Right. Switch back to the Iron Sword in case that the fighter will probably attack her because he can't reach Tai unless the general attacks first in the command order. Then he'll kill himself, and then I keep calling it a knight, the fighter will be able to reach Tai via provoke. If she crits, she'll kill. Yeah, she did. Good work. Getting use out of her natively high magic. Okay, the fighter will go after Ty because of provoke. Surprise Myrmidons. Okay, the other fighter will go after Ty. And then the one we could already see will go after Anna. Sword Anna. Edgelord Anna. I don't know, is the Swordmaster class or the Assassin class more of an Edgelord? I'm kind of leaning towards the latter. Oh, there's another Ballista out there. Okay, that one's ineffectual now. Just like those green units. The general with a light brand. Interesting. Well, this is the advantage matchup if I've ever seen it. You have Wary Fighter too. That's, yeah, gotta be the only reason I'm not doubling him. And Pavis. Fortunately, I'm attacking with magic. So I might as well equip the hardest hitting thing I can equip because neither of us is doubling either way. Huh. I'm not sure if I've ever seen the General's Lightbrand animation. It's about as awkward as anyone else's. That's mine now. I might be able to test Acrobat down there in a turn or two. Bob has the Acrobat skill, allows him to walk on all traversable terrain for free. And he was able to walk on this water completely uninhibited. We'll have to see if he can walk on the sea at all. I know not all classes can. I know it's just a matter of carving through here. Oh, that's a horse slayer. See, the exclamation point over this Myrmidon means that he has an effective weapon against the character that I have selected. Fortunately, he can't reach her through the mountains there. That is a lot of stuff. Alright, Fortify. The lightning isn't terribly threatening. Nosferatu, Luna. Okay. Killing Edge, Zanbato. Yeah, the rename, and then Wormslayer. In contrast, the yellow exclamation point means a killer weapon. And, okay. More reinforcements. Seem kind of random up here. At this point, I think, well, no, the other thief only had Iron Sword. This guy pretty much only exists for you to steal his lockpicks because he has nothing to use them on. Ty can reach him. Ty can also kill him. So I do want to be cautious around the Myrmidons with Arv. That said, I have no reason to steal the lockpicks because Bob is already a rogue. He doesn't need them anymore. 18 is still going to only tickle Ty. The rest probably won't even do damage. Unnecessary crits. It is going to take way too long to bring Bob up to kill the thief. I might not even engage them, just going to leave him be. Wormslayer and Zenpato. Actually, I should have left Samson back there, but he could have attacked from here. Kind of wanted these guys to attack Void instead. It's okay though. They'll double Samson, but they don't have enough power to do much damage. So you do 4 damage. You won't even reach. Not even a factor. Since Arv doesn't have anything better to do, she can summon. Pretty much only good for applying a seal defense here. Could actually use Anna to kill this guy. And then use Thief to just wait. You should draw the fire from the other Myrmidon, or the other Myrmidon will go attack Ty, because Provoke is overpowering. Cool. Oh, level 5. That means she gets a skill. Astra. I want to say I'm curious about what that looks like when it activates, but it's probably just going to be a flash like before, the hand-drawn activation. Yep, this is also as expected. We'll keep chipping away here. Okay, the Ballista will take shots at the Phantom and fail. Because it counts as a flying unit, it shouldn't get any bonuses from weapon, from terrain. It will get weapon triangle bonuses, and they do use axes. Yep, I was expecting this as well. It hurt a little more than I was expecting, but it's okay. Didn't double, and now he's even slower. I can even double him now, though he's actually got pretty respectable defensive specs. I do need to send him heals, because if the Ballista and his longbow team up, they could kill him. I'm just out of range. Fortunately, I've got pro strats. I still have to move a bit. That might not be a great idea. But this should be okay. Which one's most important to kill? I suppose it's you. Man, I might be stuck using the light brand here. No, we're not. Lance Reaver? Lance Reaver it is. Lance Reaver or Astra. Did that Astra actually do anything? Let me read its actual description. 5 attacks at half damage, right? So that should be 2.5 times damage. But it didn't one-shot. It didn't one-shot the Valkyrie, even though just 2 times damage, since a double attack should have. So it didn't even do 2.5 times damage. Alright, I keep wanting to send someone in, but I suppose I don't have to actually go in. Bam, heals. This is going to be another turn. Next turn I can kill him. Assuming he doesn't have a heal of some sort. Right? Yeah. Why is that? Oh, I guess he hasn't hit with it. I was wondering why this still has full uses. And it seems that Light Brand obeys the same rules as physical weapons, even though it's a magic weapon. Physical weapons don't decrease in durability if they fail to hit, but magic weapons, tomes, despoil, okay. Magic weapons will lose durability even if they miss. I kind of want to attack something with the Phantom, but Phantom is actually just too good as a bait. If I attack on player phase, I'm just going to end up killing it. He's going to most likely kill himself because it's still only level 3. Alright. Doesn't seem to be any point to sending either of these in because they'll just be at more risk. Especially when I can just have them all throw themselves at tie some more. I might actually skip some of these animations because they're all going to be the same general thing. Oh. Yeah, that's about what I expected. I have to check next turn if that Pegasus got defense sealed. Don't think the seal skills are the seal skills are not supposed to work if the user dies before the end of combat. There we go. Skip that one. Especially since dark magic takes a long time to play out. Ah. Gross. I forgot you had that. Fortunately, it's not a full critical. It's this thing, 1.5 times damage. Oh yeah, Bo Farron is jacking up his damage. It is displayed, because otherwise that should be only 25. Not too big of a deal though, since I've got ranged heals here. Okay, Anna's friend. Intelligent systems who control a thing called Fire Emblem. Oh, Fire Emblem was created by a man named Kaga. However, Kaga's a bit nuts. Incest, slave dancers, poor balance, the works. However, he was recently ousted and exiled. Fire Emblem is now run by a man named Maeda. Maeda, after the exile, things weren't too bad. The leave, Magvel, Tellius, and then the return to Akaneya happened. Chris, Maeda, Doom, time skipping, awakening, time travel, waifus, Thorpe. Now things are getting worse. Corrin, revelations, extreme waifus, no lore. Thankfully, an insider forced Maeda away from Valencia, and Fire Emblem's getting better, but Maeda didn't take it well. He has cursed Kaga into being a dancer. He says it was into being a dancer. He says it was revenge for the slave dancer girls. Please save Kaga. Well, that was entertaining, but I'm not sure that was Anna's friend that she mentioned. So I guess I will fly up north and see what that house has to say. Right, so you're still here. That was quite a rant. It was an entertainingly succinct summary of Fire Emblem history as well, even if a lot of the vocabulary used kind of requires a bit of context. Yes, this is my light brand now. These are where all the reinforcements have been coming from. Sure. One hit kill. I think if I kill the nearest fighter, the rest of them will be out of range to threaten Void. Yeah, looks like it. Can they reach the center there? Nope. So this is Arv's kill too. Yes. Even if he hits me and gets the life drain, I can still kill him. Kind of want to pull tie away from them so that they actually attack someone else for a change, like Anna. Anna's gonna mop them both up in one turn, one enemy phase as well, instead of taking 2 turns like Ty would. Astra. Oh, okay. So what happened before was Astra activated, and then it looks like when Astra activates, 5 individual animations play out. So the first one critical, but since it was at half damage, that was 1.5 times damage instead of 2.5 total damage. That was what happened. And then the second hit was still the second hit of the first Astra. You're just cycling through these here. And this is a rather dangerous wave. I'm going to want Ty back for this. Meanwhile, seize the gates, right? Well, it seize or kill everyone. I'm curious if there's 2 different endings for depending on which one you do. Either way, I do need to stall out until I bring Anna up there, which I guess if I'm bothering to do that, I can bring Bob up to fight the thief. You can hear the reluctance in my voice to oblige that, but since I'm doing something equally inefficient, I can't really justify saying no because of that. You're already S. Yeah, I was gonna say, Prin, work on your weapon level, but she actually punches hard enough that she might kill him by accident, and I don't want to risk doing that prematurely. I think we should be good. The ballistas, there are still 2 ballistas throwing bolts around, but they shouldn't, no one should be in range of both of them, and no one should be hurt enough to die to one of them. No, duelist blow working against me. Suppose I didn't want him to kill all of these guys so that other people could get experience, so I guess this is alright. Okay, so Ty was in range of both of the ballistas, but Ty was... What? I'm sorry, what? I was not expecting that. Why? How? What? A boat on dry land, folks. Well, where there's a will, there's a way, I suppose. Okay. Wow, you've got 17 speed. I want to continue picking away at these guys with, like, Void, but if I get unlucky enough, and Void is the queen of unlucky, they might actually be able to kill her. If they don't all go after Ty. So let's see. Okay. The boat, yeah, the boat can't. Boat has no weapon, so it had a ballista and then it used it all up. So it is literally sailing about on land just because it feels lonely. Doesn't want to be left out, because I wasn't gonna kill it. Can I light brand? No, that's not gonna work. I guess I could shove her, and then she can reach. And gets rid of the... Oh, alright. That was a whole lot of RNG that wasn't in my favor. And a little bit that was, but not really necessarily. Or not necessary. Killing Edge. Is kind of dangerous. Did want to see what was in this vendor. And I was rewarded with Thunder. This is actually the first Thunder I've gotten my hands on in this entire game. Gotta pick up another Elf Fire, because Anti-Arch needs the firepower. But yeah, Thunder is the best tome in the game, with that balance of might to weight and having good hit still, and a little bit of crit even. I'm actually gonna get another one. So how much do you actually do to me? You only do 11 damage once, so that's actually not too bad. And I should be able to double you on retaliation next turn. 14, so yeah. It'll take some damage, but it shouldn't be too bad, assuming they break out of Ty's provoke vortex. No one can escape Ty's provoke vortex. Admittedly, I was never entirely sure how provoke worked in like the Tellius games, which I don't remember if it was provoke was in Fire Emblem 4 or 5, but I first remember encountering it in the Path of Radiance on Shinon, and even then it seemed kind of unreliable. And in this version, it seems borderline overpowered. So I'm not sure if there is even a happy medium there. Peg Knight's Paladin. No Wyvern Lord. Bob, kill this boat. I probably should have torched there, but okay. The ballista, I'm pretty sure, is up around here somewhere. And it's still caught in Ty's provoke vortex too, so shouldn't be in any danger in that regard. There's been a lot of reinforcements. We're reaching the unnecessarily large number of reinforcements part. These are not trivial reinforcements either. Someone who actually hurt Tai. Not a lot, but did damage. Ugh. I was gonna say Death Seal, but Anna's the only one who would benefit from that. And not enough. Well, I do want to heal Tai. Let me read the fine print on provoke. Okay, that's as unhelpful as I was afraid of. Something that just crossed my mind as a possibility is that it's effective against units that are lower level than him. Which these guys would still apply. So, okay. Oh, here, let's see if this makes a difference. It does. This is why Thunder is good. Slow burn? Or is that rally magic? Rally res. Oh, right. Cilicia had that, so that's the class skill. I don't remember that print is actually more durable than Void, weirdly enough. I set up all these precautionary movements and positioning, and everyone's still going to be drawn to Tai. But having lost a unit once already this chapter, I guess I can't be too careful. Yeah, but forcing all enemy units in range to attack my most defensive units. I don't know. It's a cool idea, having the whole aggro thing, but is it too powerful? Wow, these reinforcements are getting stronger rather than getting weaker. Let's get some eyes up there first. Yeah, because I would have run into one of these guys. How much damage do they do? 10 and 9. Okay. That can actually kill if I initiate. Oh, a killer bow or killer axe and a silver bow. These guys are not messing around. I was gonna try to ease my units in to kind of be able to pick off these reinforcements, but it depends on how much I trust Ty's provoke. Suppose this is what save states are for. Considering I haven't used one yet this chapter, might not be a bad place to start. I was hoping this would work. Good. Let's see if Anna can kill the warrior. I was hoping I could get... That's not great, but I've got 2 healers as well. So you shouldn't need that. Just need to make sure she has enough power, which she doesn't, and in which case I kind of nuke up her crit. Don't like that hit rate. And basically all that's left is this soldier, this hero kind of running rampant. You just have to protect Samson, because Samson has low speed. Void should be able to take a hit from him. She actually does outspeed him. And if I really wanted to, have anti-arch attack, make that even less of an issue. Kind of blocked myself in there, but... Who do I have left? It's just those 3. Anti-arch will take care of you, and then I can leave Prin kind of safe. Put her behind Void. Or maybe, actually, can use her to kill this shaman. Because Prin's actually not in danger from the hero. Her defense is high enough combined with her speed, which is not great, but fast enough to avoid being doubled. Good. That's a better hit rate than I was expecting for the soldier being on a fort. The other possibility was that Anna's recruitment dialogue was just there to get me to visit the house so that I can read the creator's rant. That is also a possibility. Oh, Ballista's still shooting at him, huh? Once again, I'm impressed by Ty's hit rate there against enemy on a fort. Even if Luna's really heavy. Wasn't expecting 92% ambush coming. That might have been an anti-turtling incentive. Oh, okay, I can't visit this house at all. That was a waste of time. Alright, I'm going after the boss. Rogue cannot walk on water. Confirmed. Actually, that's in longbow range. Don't want to do that. Anna is going to be my best boss killer. Alright, this is too many reinforcements. And these guys are actually real scary. Even to Ty. Tome Fair. What do you have? Slayer. I've gotten enemies that are labeled as monsters, but I don't think I've actually encountered any actual monster enemies in this pack so far. I wonder if they show up later or something. So, yeah. We're getting out of here. Sure. Honestly, up here is probably the safest place for Anna to stay. Ow. Right, I shouldn't have equipped the light brand. She's not gonna do much damage against these guys anyway with their high resistance. I suppose I should have expected the timer to a certain extent because they did put an arena in there, and if their map, no, oh, to spoil, if their map design was attentive enough to create like choke points and stuff, then they probably are aware of needing to force the player to not spend unlimited number of turns arena grinding. not getting all the way there anyway. $17. Well, guess I can start here. That's custom music that I have a little too quiet to identify. Why do you hit so hard? Alright. Guess that answers that. 32, 25, 17. Wow. 11. Don't like having to use physique. Well, I guess that's 10 damage. Here we go. I can safely pick off one of these guys. I guess I'll take the second most threatening. That was an interesting move. That was a waste of a javelin use. Well, at least Ty's getting good experience from all the pre-promotes. Adept? Adept? Why did he go? I mean, I guess it was probably Adept that just didn't have a flash. I was gonna say, did no reinforcements show up on those forts? But then I realized that they were all in shadows, fog of war, because I moved away from them. Okay. I was thinking of using a phantom, but if I attack him with a phantom, it means I can't attack him with anyone else. And I definitely want to attack him with someone else. guess I can do this. Get to see. Yeah, okay, Death Seal does work even if they die. Guess Bob can stay over there. Alright, yeah, as I said, this is probably the safest place for Anna. Reinforcements finally done. Was that ambush just a feint? A bluff? Well, whatever. He's dead now. Man, if I get a brave sword, it's going right on Anna. Sword Anna. Because that would be the potential for 20 attacks in one round of combat. Yes, we are finally done. Interesting that it's not even showing up enemy phase anymore. So I got my shopping done. We're done. Phew, the might of the Orange Star Army is annoying. I hope I don't have to deal with them being in the way, considering horrible weapons they're rumored to have. Okay, that took, I guess, about as long as I was expecting to a certain degree. Uh, I did predict earlier on that given that it was an Advanced Wars looking map, that it might have a lot of reinforcements. Um, I was a little disappointed that it didn't have varied reinforcements, I suppose. Like, and the reinforcement placings, I should say. There were varied and sometimes very threatening reinforcements, but they all came from the same three forts throughout the entire map. And after riddling the map with various forts, I suppose I was expecting something a little more. Um, Especially from the green units. The green units were largely ineffectual after the first, I don't know, five to six turns. After I crossed the bridges into the enemy territory, the green units stopped doing anything useful. The ones that did move were too weak to contribute, and the ones that could have been helpful were programmed not to move. So it has some potential. It could have been really interesting, and I think it could. Uh, I did believe, I do believe, remember hearing that they were going to try to go back and repolish some of the chapters after the challenge, the make a hack in a week challenge had finished. So they might be working on that. They might have done it already, and I just haven't found that patch yet. Um, and even if I did, I'm not sure. Not sure if I'd want to switch over right away. Maybe check it out a little bit on my own and then see what kind of changes there were, if there's anything, any patch notes to read up on and so on. Other than that, lost Tim, unfortunately. Uh, he will be missed, but I don't think he filled a role that can't be substituted with someone else, namely his brother Tam. So Tam will be picking up the torch. I will probably throw a promotion item his way soon. Fortunately, he has really good stats still. His low growths he's been lucky enough with his low growths that his stats are still pretty solid. So he will make a good promoted unit. I might actually make him a warrior instead of a hero. Uh, because well, I don't know. They both have their merits. I only have one sword user aside from Ty, and that's Anna. But I also only have one bow user, that's Samson. So could go either way. I'll think about it over the course of this coming week and maybe decide on something for next time. As usual, I'm going to do a quick preview of the map for the next chapter, Dead Valley. No intro text. At least it's not Fog of War. This is a huge map. Lots of enemies. I start out split up 4 and 7. So I got a lot of options at least. There's an enemy rogue that I'm going to want to chase down. He's probably going to run. As I mentioned before when we saw the bishop that had the Slayer skill. Here's our first monster. Maybe there was one earlier that I just forgot. I don't know. This has decently sound design principles. There are multiple routes that you can play through, but at the same time, they don't really seem to differentiate too much. Wow. There's turtling disincentives. If the thieves and the rogue, you want to try to grab them before they run away with their treasure. And in fact, I want to chase him down to steal the goddess icon and then kill him. So that has to be my thief. But otherwise, I don't know. Something about it seems still kind of generic. There's just a lot of density. There's a lot of enemy density, and that unfortunately kind of encourages more turtling. So once I chase down the thieves, the rest of the map is probably gonna go slowly. Do I have? Okay, I was hoping I had a sleep staff, but I only have berserk, and that was less helpful. But I do have warp and rescue, so I might be able to make some shenanigans happen. But we will save that for next time. Alright. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Same time next week, unless I say something in the Discord, since I think this is mostly... I think everyone tuned in is just from our Discord, so... We'll see you guys here next week, and rip Tim. Good night.